On today's Million Made News, we're diving straight into the controversies and chaos shaking up the world. We got a Boar's Head plant linked to a deadly food outbreak that's been violating safety rules left and right. Then we'll look at how 401k millionaires are on the rise, but why even that might not be enough for a comfortable retirement. Plus, Russian hackers are back at it, exploiting flaws in Safari and Chrome to steal your information. And finally, Dame Dash's plan to sell his stake in Roc-A-Fella hits a major roadblock for unpaid debts. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Boar's Head, a name you might trust for those tasty deli sandwiches. But here's the shocking part. Their plant in Virginia is under serious fire right now. Imagine walking into a place where your food is made and seeing mold on the walls, flies buzzing around, and even blood puddles on the floor. That's the reality at this Boar's Head plant. Inspectors went in and found 69 violations of food and safety rules. 69 times where this place dropped the ball. We're talking about liquid dripping from the ceilings, meat scraps on the floors, and that rancid smell you can't shake off. The worst part, this mess led to a deadly listeria outbreak. Listeria is no joke. It's a bacteria that can kill. And in this case, it did. 9 people lost their lives, and about 50 others got so sick they had to be hospitalized. Now, Boar's Head had to shut down this plant, and is going to stay focused until they can prove their meat is safe to eat. But the damage is already done. Over 7 million pounds of their meat had to be recalled because of this mess. So, next time you're at the deli counter, think twice and check where the meat is coming from. I know I'm not eating any sandwiches anytime soon. Now let's shift gears and talk about how some folks are stacking up that $1 million 401k. But is it really enough to retire comfortably? Let's break it down. Alright, so who doesn't want to retire with a cool million in the bank, right? Well, it turns out more people are doing just that. The number of Americans with 401k accounts worth $1 million or more is at an all-time high. We're talking about nearly 500,000 people, 497,000 to be exact, who hit that 7-figure mark by the end of June. Now, if you're wondering how they did it, it's a mix of steady contributions and the market playing nice for a few quarters. On average, these accounts are sitting at about $1.6 million, which is up from earlier this year. But here's the kicker. Even with these gains, most people aren't close to the 1.46 million experts say you need to retire comfortably. And it's not just about hitting that $1 million mark. The average 401k balance across all accounts is just over $127,000, with most people saving about 14.2% of their income. Retirement experts say you should be putting away at least 15%, so some folks are cutting it close. But with inflation still hanging around and prices up by 20% since 2021, people are feeling the pinch. Some are even rethinking if they can retire at all, with over a quarter saying they might have to go back to work after they retire because their savings won't cut it. Now, speaking of financial worries, it's not just everyday folks feeling the heat. Even high-tech hackers are making moves to get a piece of the pie. Cybersecurity might sound like something only techies worry about, but here's why it should matter to you. Russian hackers, the kind you see in spy movies, have found ways to break into your phone using flaws in Safari and Chrome, 2 of the most popular web browsers out there. These hackers aren't playing around. Between November 2023 and July 2024, they were exploiting bugs that Apple and Google had already patched. But guess what? Not everyone keeps their devices updated, and that's how these hackers were able to sneak in. Here's how they did it. They set up traps on Mongolian government websites, knowing that certain people would visit those sites. When someone did, their browser got hit with malware designed to steal information. It's called a watering hole attack. The hackers create a fake watering hole, and when you come to drink, you're caught. Now, they were mainly after government officials, using sneaky tricks to steal their cookies. You know, the bits of data that keep you logged into websites. But it didn't stop there. Android users were also targeted with similar attacks using different flaws in Chrome. This kind of hacking isn't just random. It's a part of something bigger, a way to gather info that could be used for more serious attacks down the line. And while these exploits have been patched, it's a reminder that keeping your devices up to date is critical to staying safe online. Now let's switch from cyber thieves to a different kind of drama, one that's hitting close to home for a hip-hop mogul. Dame Dash, the man who helped bring you Roc-A-Fella Records, is in a tough spot right now. He's trying to sell his share of the company. There's one big problem. He owes a lot of money. We're talking about $193,000 in unpaid child support and a staggering $8.7 million in back taxes. Because of this, the auction to sell his 33.3% stake in Roc-A-Fella has been pushed back. Originally, it was supposed to go down on August 29th, but now it's set for September 21st. The minimum bid was going to be $1.2 million, but with all these debts piling up, it's been raised to $3 million. Here's how it's going to work. If someone buys Dash's stake, the first chunk of that money goes to New York City to cover his child support. Next, New York State gets its cut to cover those back taxes. After that, if anything's left, it goes toward an $823,000 judgment he owes from a lawsuit. Anything beyond that, Dash might get to keep it if there's anything left. Dash's situation is a classic example of what happens when you don't keep up with your financial obligations. Even with big dreams and past successes, the debts can catch up to you. It's a lesson that no matter how much you've made, taking care of your responsibilities is key to staying on top. Now, that's it for today's Million Made News. We covered everything from deli meats to high stakes hacking, and even some drama in the world of hip hop. Remember, staying informed is the first step to making those millions, no matter where you're starting from. Catch you next time. Peace.